Thanks for everyone's patience. Really appreciate it. Shuki, go ahead and take it away while I get the race started.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Today we are going to be seeing ChefGobes versus Sarah and Tracy versus Sharpless for this quad match of the Earthbound Super Series brackets. The Sarah and ChefGobes are whoever wins that match will see who gets to face off against Peen Train in round 2.
Yeah, and Tracy and Sharpless gets the privilege of facing off against Hunter. So the winners of both these races have a strong opponent waiting for them, no matter what. It's gonna be interesting.
Have to look forward to the next quad.
Yeah, the next squad we get all that stuff. Just to remind everyone, it is top versus bottom. So Tracy versus Sharpless and ChefGobes versus Sarah. I think it's really interesting, particularly on the right. Tracy and Sharpless are both really competent Mother One runners. They're Mother One runners initially, but they still joined the tournament, and their first bracket matches against each other, and they had a nice little fun interaction in the scheduling room. Just the two Mother One runners forced to only one of them can move forward.
Tonight we're seeing a battle of friends and siblings of the mother community.
Yeah, I always really enjoy when we get some new people and people from the other sort of adjacent communities as well. Mother One obviously very closely related.
And everyone is getting the bat from Tracy's room first thing.
Yeah, there's some people who will get it later. Most notably probably Octo. But I personally don't think it makes much of a difference. It basically just comes down to like, do you want Tracy to get in your way or not?
Right. I think I've seen most everyone this year get it the first go around. Not have to worry about it. But I suppose you're right. You do save the little bit of frames from not having Tracy in the room.
It's one of those things, and then it's also on the second pass through. Um, you can just walk through because Tracy's in the hallway. Um, you'll see shortly actually once they reach home. Tracy's in the hallway, and sometimes she can get in your way. She loses a tiny bit of time. So they're really trying to avoid that potentially. That's also an aspect of it. It's one of those really minor uh, time saves if
Right. She starts off kind of towards the top of the hallway, and if you're coming from the top room, she's a little harder to dodge.
Well,
And
even though
so,
people will get it even later than that, so they'll get it after putting on their baseball cap, getting out of their jammies, and then she's already downstairs by that point.
completely out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like none of our runners getting stopped by her.
Yeah, you can. I think there's enough time to always react to Tracy. Just have a good idea. I mean, she can last second just get in your way, and she will. But it's such a tiny time loss. But we're just realistically us commentators are stalling for time as we await the Onet Hill, the first instance of spawns that we'll see each of these four runners trying to navigate. There's three separate enemies. They all move in different ways, and they all have different methods of potentially trying to deal with them. So snakes, you'll see them stutter step. Crows can only move left and right. They're kind of dumb that way. So sometimes people will just walk right by them. And dogs will just beeline it towards you. They just run straight at you. But so you'll try and get them stuck on trees and stuff like that.
It's really interesting getting Because like the first 3 enemies of the game give you like the main enemy movement types.
Yeah, it's like a roadmap for the rest of the game. There's some slight differences that come up later because diamonds and UFOs work very similarly to crows. They're just way faster and are always moving, as opposed to crows who are stationary until you aggro them. You got a lot of spawns for everyone. It looks like Sharpless has Sharpless and Tracy having both pretty clean ones. Although Tracy taking a dog fight. Taking a fight, not so bad. Dog is probably the best fight if you're going to take one. Dog has a wasted turn. Gives you 4 experience. And there's a very low chance at a bread roll. Sarah getting a nice despawn as Sharpless approaches the same area. So that dog is difficult. You have to do a very specific maneuver to deal with it. But Sarah, the first one to reach the top.
Chef having some trouble against this crow. It's not wanting to take a hit.
Yeah, crows really fast, so they tend to dodge your attacks. Crows have 77 speed. Ness has 2 right now. So, you know, just a casual difference of 75 speed between the two.
Definitely on purpose with how smug they are with their sunglasses.
Absolutely.
Sarah and Sharpless shortly behind. Chef having that longer fight, lagging a little bit. Still not a big difference.
Yeah, but, you know, everyone's still at the top. There's some slight differences. Sarah right now with the lead. But that can all go away if you get, you know, Starman is a fight you can't lose, but it's a fight that can waste your time.
Yep, only 100 HP or 200 HP that is, and the charge forward attack by Buzz does roughly like 110 or so. If you get lucky and get 2 of those, you can get out 2 cycles or 4 turns.
Yep. Yeah, Buzz has 2 types of hits. He can do a weak attack and a strong attack. Strong attack is not affected by guard, but weak attack is. So while you want Starman to guard because it's the fastest like animation he can do, you also want Buzz to be doing a strong attack because if he's doing a weak attack and Starman guards, Buzz does like 30 damage, and that really elongates the fight.
The more turns that Starman has to use fire, most certainly will use it and waste your time even further.
Yeah, Starman has 2 versions of fire. You can use Alpha and Beta. Alpha slightly faster than Beta, but just barely. It takes into account the PSI animation. So that was the weak attack there. You can see 73 damage from Sarah, from Buzz there on Sarah's screen rather. So she needs a very strong attack on this next Buzz attack to get a 2 cycle. If not, this will probably be a. Well, actually, that Nest crit might come in clutch. And it did. It actually mattered. Sharpless and Tracy also both on Starman. Chef just starting the Starman fight. Yeah, Sarah with a very clean 2 cycle on a decent pace right now. Sharpless still not that far behind. Unfortunately, Sarah and Sharpless are not the ones racing.
Got a slug cough.
No.
Rare cough.
Slug has her mic muted, like separately from Discord. So
yeah, I think Pebble Possum is bullying.
it may have been me. May have been me doing a small cough. Thank you for posting the pronouns in the chat.
Absolutely. We have them in front of us, of course. For you chatters.
Yeah, also, do not get on my case for humans cough, okay? What is this? You legally have to tell me if you're a cough.
Do we have a dedicated fart microphone as well?
I got a different mic for that.
With the amount of Taco Bell that is consumed within the community?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Looks like Sarah's stream is freezing on our end, potentially.
Sarah was the first one out. Looks like it is cleared up.
Yeah, it's clearing up now. The time is a little wonky, but just try and keep that in mind when regarding. Yeah, she needs to react a little bit quicker and stutter it. The one nice part about this is that she's going to be level 3 coming into the Pogo Punk, but she did get hit twice, so she's got slightly less health.
Trash juice will come into handy here, I'm sure. Yeah, that was an unfortunate snake. I don't think I've seen a spawn like right behind that tree like that. I was caught off guard as well.
It can happen. You gotta be until you get to like right around in front of the library, or like at least past the fence. You gotta assume something could spawn.
Petting zoo territory is large.
So we're gonna see Sarah and Sharpless here. They're gonna be going to the drugstore. Everyone's having picked up the Mr. Baseball cap. We're going to be selling it and picking up a regular baseball cap and a cheap bracelet, which gives us slightly more defense, which makes the arcade section just a little bit more consistent.
I can't even imagine without the bracelet what Frank would be like.
Bad, I can tell you that.
Probably darn near impossible without really good luck.
You would need some crits, almost for sure. Also, you potentially would need some defense level ups. They're very unlikely at these early levels.
So we're getting some strange spawns of the sharks here. Did get past them.
Sharpless with a really nice first Pogo Punk. Sarah now doing it as well. Alright, pretty decent first Pogo Punk for Sarah as well. You're just hoping he doesn't charge forward every single turn. That's his most strong attack.
Ideally, you do have the trash juice, but you pretty much only have a bread roll for healing here that you'd like to use. You can dip into your hamburgers early, but that makes Frank very scary. You want to get both of these Pogo Punks taken out with one set of HP, and Sarah taking some scary attacks.
Yeah, a lot of charge forwards, some misses from Ness. Yeah, you want to save your burgers as a last resort, specifically so that you don't have to buy as many when you do burger shopping later. So after, in an ideal world, as you said, bread roll is all you want to use for healing, because then you have as many life ups and burgers as you need for Frank and Frankie's sign potentially. But if you're gonna have to dip into your healing, you always dip into your psychic points first, and then the burgers thereafter.
And Sharpless going in with, I think, oh no, he did use life up at some point.
Yeah, 48 not being full health would be a wild thing, but Frank hitting pretty tough. 22 is mashable. 21, okay. Not having to deal with any mortal damage mashing here. And Sharpless getting through Frank's Sarah. That's a nice mash through that mortal damage herself.
ChefGobes and Tracy are right on each other's tails, and Sarah and Sharpless, however, they're not racing each other.
They're not, and technically Sarah is a little bit, I would say, probably a little bit ahead just because of the timer difference.
Right.
There's about, 13 to 15 seconds between their timers. But visually, it's very satisfying. I love like the sync on the top and on bottom. It's very, very nice.
Frank being mean to both of our top runners here. ChefGobes taking an unfortunate death.
Yeah, it can happen. And Tracy in a bad spot. They're also gonna go down to Frank. The sync continues.
Not like this. Oh, not like this, even. Getting some fuzzy pickles on the screen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Once you take one death on a net, you're forced into this photo. There's nothing you can do to get by it unless you can do one frame stutters, which is, let's just say humanly impossible right now. You can technically buffer it. Let's not even bring it up. It's just, you're getting that photo.
Oh, it's interesting. Oh, I heard about that with the task that does that in some spots because it takes 2 frames to trigger a cutscene.
Correct. You have to be walking for 2 frames to a cutscene to trigger it. So if you can tap forward for 1 frame and just do that continuously, you can get through them, which is why the task can do it and the humans can. Oh, photo triggers aren't stutterable? Okay. I'm getting corrected, which is, I do like getting corrected because I get to learn more. Is that a challenge?
Frank, part 2 for our top runners here.
Yes.
Chef getting through quite easily. Looks like Tracy is 1 hit away. Frank is tearing them up.
Chef getting to start Frankenstein, though.
Dipping into the burgers. Make sure if Ness misses, it would be all over. And Frank is finally down. Should get 1 more life up on the level up. So hopefully Frankenstein goes well.
To be clear, so like, I like being corrected when the information I'm being corrected with is accurate. I don't like being corrected when someone is wrong. Which also still happens.
Looks like Sarah is going for the single slug strat that I was reading about this morning in Discord, perhaps?
Yeah, so it's a strat that we would use it a lot back in the days. Single slug fights are a lot better to take than the full battle. You get more chances at a bomb, and it's also slightly faster. The disadvantage is that you don't have this really convenient setup that Sarah is doing currently.
It looks like something must have not worked out correctly, and she's just going for the normal spawns now.
I mean, I think you go for it when you're passing through, but this setup on the left side is just it's so quick and consistent that I think it's preferable still, because doing the single slug, it's just like, if you get it, yeah, it's great, and you have more chances at a bomb, but a bomb is still 1 out of 128. So you're not guaranteed to get the bomb unless your name's Hunter.
And it may very well give you bad luck for the rest of the run as well.
Yeah, the bomb curse is a thing that been brought up several times.
Oh, I see. Yep. Sarah went for it, got the wrong spawns, and just continued.
Yeah, you want spawns up top, specifically. If you get spawns up top, there's a lot of lag when you try and get into the fight, and we theorize that the enemies up top are trying to join, and therefore can't, because there's no pathing, so it just does the single slug fight. But I'm pretty sure it's more lag related than that pathing thing. I mean, yeah, there's a chip on my shoulder, Rain. What do you want? Why? How am I supposed to fight against that?
Tracy is picking up their hamburgers while ChefGobes is making their way to the slug grind.
I'm getting hard called out right now. It's fun. This is fun. And yeah, we got Tracy doing burger shopping. Chef completed their burger shopping, so they're going to be starting their slug grinds.
I think this is Sarah's 16th slug here. I think Sharpless is on 12.
We'll know after the fight on Sharpless' side. If this is 12, they'll get a level.
Looks
So
like I was
that's
wrong
actually
for Sarah.
12. Yeah, that's 12 for Sarah. So this might be 8 for Sharpless. And a hypnosis on Sharpless' side lets you know that the fight's gone on a little bit longer than you want because Ness keeps missing. Also, Sharpless had to heal in that mid-fight. Oh, that is 12 for Sharpless.
We are pretty close now.
Unless that was level 6, and then that was just the first 4-pack.
Ooh,
It's hard to keep track with everything. Yeah, red swirled by the mouse.
The mouse got stuck and came in for vengeance.
So those are slugs on Sarah's screen on the bottom there. I don't think she's level 8. I would just take the slugs. Yeah, she's just taking the fight. Instead of her looking like it was going to work out that well. So she's at 20 now, which means she just needs 2. Which means she can take an Antoid slug fight. It's a little bit spooky because an Antoid is involved, but when it works, I think it can work well.
Is there a way to tell which one is an ant slug rather than an ant?
Nope. I would say on the top floor, if it's a double spawn, top floor is usually ant slug. But even then, you're... Oh, she's pulling those 2, so she gets just the 2, and so now she has... Oh no, it ended up... There's still 4! It's so hard to tell with these tiny quad screens. But this is going to be level 8 for Sarah. So after this, she's going to make her way all the way to the top. And make her way towards Titanic Ant.
Looks like we did get an ad that goes through. Sorry, everyone. Looks like we'll be finished before we get to Titanic Ant. Okay, Sarah having to do some really difficult stutters there, and then it looks like her stream caught up.
No, her stream cut out, actually. It is hosted Sharpless.
I see, yeah.
Because that's a mirror of Sharpless's stream. So, apologies for that. We'll get that corrected shortly. OBS. Loving to be OBS right now.
Something about today, OBS is just being nasty.
Alright, so now Tracy is Sarah.
We got this 6-pack. We got slugs everywhere. So is Sharpless Sarah or is Sarah Sharpless?
No, Sarah is still Sharpless right now. It will be fixed shortly.
Here we
There,
go.
now the timer is not there, but the video feed is correct now. She is. We missed the beginning of Titanic Ant, but I think Ant has a shield up. Yeah. Yeah, Ant does have a shield up. That 14 damage proves it. But defense down is nice to see, although it was a heel turn.
Shield is staying up.
Yeah, it might be multiple turns of shield happen. Sarah having to go through quite a lot of burgers here. There's another shield. But he's dead, so it don't matter.
Sarah's the first one getting past Titanic Ant while Sharpless is beginning to climb up to start.
Yep, we'll see how Sharpless's Ant starts out. We're looking for good rock and rolls and no crits from Ant. You could argue that me saying that is casting a curse, but I don't believe in that.
Tracy getting red swirled by some slugs. I believe they are already level 8, so I think they're just making their way up.
You are correct, because there's a rocket on screen.
Just getting them out of here. And I think this is ChefGobes' last pack as well.
We got a shield on Sharpless' side as well. But the rock and rolls were pretty decent. Oh, and outspeed, but defense down, so it works out. Another defense down, very nice. When Ant puts shield up, you're looking for Nest to crit, because crits get rid of shields no matter how powerful the shield is. Unfortunately for neither runner, we've seen the crit. Sarah Green swirling a single slug, like maybe you got a bomb? Like, hey, maybe. You never know. You never know what that slug be holding. He could just be carrying an explosives.
Chef getting all the spawns on the second floor here, managing to stuttering past all of them.
Yeah, very nice stutters from ChefGobes.
See what we get. Oh, get an ant up right at the top. Oh, it is a single slug. Or I don't know what their offense is.
Yeah, it's the slug. 27 experience as a slug. Tracy in a scary fight. The Antoids, they got the homies involved. But Tracy getting through it.
Sarah's going to go ahead and buy some burgers, having used quite a few for Ant. Needing some safety for the cops.
Yeah, cops can be brutal, as many of our runners have already experienced, myself included. I think everyone at this point has dealt with some pretty rough cop fights. You think 4 or 5 burgers could be enough, and then they crit you, they never stop doing crushing chops, they're just the worst. Tracy starting their Ant fight as well.
$102. Pretty good rocking. I didn't see what the first one hit.
I couldn't tell. But 102 is decent. Tracy playing it a little risky, attacking after getting hit. Those are PB strats, but Tracy might know that Sharpless has a lead, and they're trying to make up some distance.
Getting a miss and getting bit right away again.
Yeah, and a lot of burgers needing to be used from Tracy as well. The shield is gone as Sarah starts. Oh no, it looks like Sarah's on the second comp. And a crit from Tracy gets rid of Titanic Ant. And Sarah dying to cops there. A little bit of a misplay.
cops were in the Chop City here, giving ChefGobes a little bit of time to catch up. Okay, getting magneted for 5 right away is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it gets rid of a life up, but thankfully the second rockin's still on the table. 40 damage is a lot, but, you know, it is what it is.
First one hits 70 and 67. Not great, but average.
It's a good thing ChefGobes paying attention to their inventory, because they have a cookie in their inventory right now. And a cookie, not enough to heal through Titanic Ant's quite brutal hits.
Titanic Ant is not afraid to two-shot you outright.
Yep, that's absolutely correct.
Luckily,
And
no
a nice
shields.
crit. Nice crit from ChefGobes.
Yep,
Everyone
nice.
getting through Titanic Ant deathless. Which is great to see, because I hate that guy.
Sarah making her way back down to cops while Sharpless is starting on his 3rd cop.
I think they're 3rd. Yep, you're correct. Got speed on the heal from Sharpless is always unfortunate. You want the heal to happen after they hit you so that you can go back to full HP. And then after Sarah on the Redux here, critting the first cop and getting a burger drop for her troubles.
Okay, Sharpless is starting strong.
That strong could be a scary fight. You just want to double rock in him ideally, but he can hit pretty hard. This HP is just on the cusp of feeling comfortable. But 91 is a great rockin' hit. You only needed this second rockin' to hit for about 50 now.
So I think is almost, yep, there he goes.
Very nice Onet there from Sharpless.
And Captain Strong does only have 140 HP, but he can use submission hold and take out, I think, about 46 damage or so if he really decides to go crazy.
Yeah, he can crit you for about 60, which is the also an unfortunate part.
You're left with like 18 HP at most.
It's a rough situation. The nice part, at the very least, is that Strong has 2 turns that do nothing, guard and get real upset, grr, and then his offense goes up, which doesn't really do that much. He's so mad. How he get? He's so mad. Good. I'm Captain Strong. Get out of my town, my city. I'm mad.
See how Sarah 107. Wow.
Yeah, 107 very high. 120 is the max.
And Strong is gone.
Yep. Nice on that there from Sarah as well. A lot of distance between the top runners gained, in my opinion, because you know they're on their cop fights. Tracy is starting their strong now. So this is all of a sudden, you know, Sharpless looked like they had a pretty big lead on Tracy, and then Tracy bringing it back. So they still got a chance in this race, and Gobes not super far out either. Oh, but the crit from the cop is so rude.
Oh no!
And Gobes is going down to cops. I just said not out of it, and they get one of the worst deaths you can take.
ChefGobes and Tracy both taking a death during the cop gauntlet. Gonna
Oh,
have
I missed.
There's a big submission hit during the rockin' and then taking another hit right afterwards.
And I missed Tracy dying to the cops too. God, that is like the rudest thing I've ever done. I was just trying to hype up this race, just hype up these racers. The cops said, "Oh really? Oh really? Wouldn't it be a shame? Wouldn't it be a shame if I just killed Ness right now?"
Cops are deciding to show us the real definition of power bottoms tonight. Our tops have a lot to go to be able to top the race.
I was not expecting.
And Pink Train giving her submission with sloppy crappies.
Yeah, sloppy crappie, a good. Tracy saying, "Haven't had strong smash yet." I did bring it up. He can smash for about 60. It's real bad. I'm not scared of Airframe's principal's office. Who do you think had the original principal's office, James?
I think this is still perfectly PG.
I agree. Damn, how'd you know it was Mr. Belding? I mean, that's on me. I set the bar too low, I guess.
We all know our friend Everdreezy will be with us in the principal's office.
He's just hanging out there. Principal's yelling at you. Everdread in the corner, just vibing.
He got in all kinds of trouble, you know.
Yeah.
Stealing $10,000.
Yeah. It's all kinds of trouble. It's in the trouble so often with the principal, they just became homies. He's just hanging out.
That's how he got so high up in like the gangs. He's just hanging out in the park. He knows the principal. And so we do have Sarah and Sharpless pretty close here. They're about to high five. Sharpless just went and spawned in the pencil eraser and is making his way back to get the pencil eraser. Sarah is on his way to see it. ChefGobes and Tracy are still in the cops fight. Tracy about to start strong for round 2.
Yeah, round 2 is strong. They're hoping for not another crit. Yeah, I don't think you play assuming you're gonna get crit. A crit here would be bad, but the crits are very, very rare.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what happened. Was the crit during the rock, and you have no chance to mash a heal out before the next attack comes if it's going to.
Yeah, in that situation you need Strong to do an empty turn right after, and then if he doesn't, it's just lights out. Chef may have accidentally bought a bag of fries or really got the bag of fries dropped from the Yes Man Jr. forever ago and never used it. But ChefGobes was getting really lucky at the start of Strong there because they were about to die, but Strong missed.
86 rockin', just get another one similar, and 87, we're out.
So, everybody done with Onett now? Out of this miserable town?
I would never order fries on accident, always on purpose.
I used to work at McDonald's, and there's those dang teenage kids who come in, and they bought some fries one time. As Tracy gets into a double mushroom fried, I do want to call attention to that before I go back to my story. They bought fries and then just like dumped them out on the floor, and we're like, meh, bye. But they paid for the fries, so I didn't really understand the point. Because it's pretty easy to sweep up fries. It's not like a difficult task. And they paid money for it, so it didn't seem like a very good prank.
That's just unfortunate. You're wasting fries.
You're wasting fries and your own money. It's
Right.
like the weirdest thing. I was so confused. I was like, I bet, sure, like, I guess. I had to sweep up fries. Yeah, you know. It dunked under.
Sharpless seeing a UFO. Getting it out of here.
Yeah. PRV, a very scary place, but Sharpless right now playing it pretty well.
Let's do Robo's upper, just hanging out. Another set of Robos hanging out. Going by Butterfly.
Yeah, didn't need the butterfly. The robot's hanging out. They're just, you know, they're having a nice little sabbatical. They're seeing the sights.
The corners of Peaceful Rest Valley where they belong.
Yeah, getting on the hills, trying to get a nice view. Sharpless is a really nice PRV. Really clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make fries right after this. I also want those fries swept right into my mouth. ChefGobes and Tracy both hanging out with Apple Kid right at the same time.
Yeah, the top two runners, ChefGobes and Tracy, have stayed pretty synced the entire race. Unfortunately, you know, at least I've mentioned it a couple times, their opponent is below them. So they need to try and make up time against Sarah and Sharpless, respectively.
Sharpless wisely not buffering movement into the cultist cave here. Did get one spawned pretty far away, but able to get out of there right away.
Yeah, I definitely agree about the not wanting to buffer movement. Oh, Sharpless with a sick crow dodge, by the way. When you enter that cave, you wanna stop. You don't want to buffer movement because they can spawn like a couple pixels away from you, and you need to make sure you react first to the cultist spawn.
Ooh, Sarah in a tricky situation, getting out of it with a very nice skip sandwich.
Yeah, clutch skip sandwich usage there. As Sharpless is about to start his shack fight.
And ChefGobes taking a fight with the mushroom, unfortunately. Smashing it out of existence, no worries.
Yeah, Tracy has had a mushroom on their head this entire time. So, for those who don't know, when you have a mushroom on your head, in battle, you have a chance to be confused on a turn. You're feeling funky, as it were. But on the overworld, what happens is that the game rotates your controls 90 degrees every... I don't know how many frames it is or seconds, but it's something like, you know, 10, 15 seconds, something like that. Every 15-ish seconds, it will rotate your D-pad 90 degrees clockwise. So as long as, you know, if you have that mushroom and your controls get messed up, you can just turn your controller 90 degrees and then just keep playing. So what Tracy was likely doing is every single time it changed their controls, they were just rotating the controller. So they may have had it upside down at one point, etc., etc. It could still be a little bit spooky because it can change real quick, and you don't want to be like buffering movement towards an enemy and all of a sudden it changes, and then it like really messes with you. But Tracy playing it well enough, they didn't get into any erroneous fights or anything like that. Sharpless on the second cultist fight here in Cultist HQ. Well, both of them missing each other. 44 HP is an HP you would need to heal if Carp Painter were to hit you. I would not feel safe with 44. Technically, Carp Painter can hit for less, but 44 is kind of the middle ground. And so you see Sharpless eat a burger beforehand. They want to be able to either rock in on the turn they get hit or just keep bashing. They don't want to deal with having to heal.
Especially on the first phase. It's pretty important to get it through before that first life up. Well, the second life up.
Yeah, first life up happens in the second turn, and then it will happen 6 turns later. Instant reflect. He may just die here. He's dead. Yep.
He's gone.
Yep. But that's a lot of HP for Sharpless, and they're gonna get a level here. Vitality, so they're getting a ton of HP. 120 HP, 123 HP Death Warp. You know, the Death Warp setup, you're like, ugh, that's so much HP. But Car Painter killing themselves instantly, you always still take that. Like, it's still really fast for him to do that. It's the fastest possible thing he can do. So, and a good Death Warp is not off the table. It's just, you know, a little bit risky. It's not riskier, just a little bit less likely. You could still go up the mole, in my opinion. Sometimes you see people going back out into Peaceful Rest Valley because they're looking for a robo UFO fight.
I've seen sometimes as well, you stuttering past the mole when you're looking for a bear. It's a lot more aggressive.
It's more aggressive. Bears miss a lot, but they deal a ton of damage if they hit. And they cannot confuse themselves. So it is an option. And ChefGobes getting into some farty Sprout fights. And getting crit by the Sprouts. I don't think I've ever seen Sprouts crit.
There's no way their guts is that high. Wonder if this will work.
Mobile Sprout.
Yep. Mobile Sprout.
I think you need that. There's like the detailed enemy one, but I forget what the command is.
I think it's stats? I'm wrong.
No, there's one that's like specifically, it's like enemy detail or something weird. I don't remember what it is. Airframe's not here to. There it is. Guts is 5. Not yet. It's not a lot of guts. Looks like Sharpless potentially just going for the mole. Yep, just taking the mole. This is what I would do as well. I think the mole can kill you quite quickly still. Yeah, hitting Ness instantly. That's what you want to see.
It always ends up being a dice roll anyway. You could have, 30 HP and it take 2 or 3 minutes because the mole's not being
cooperative. Alright, Paula being taken out. You do want that, but it's a little bit unfortunate when it happens early because Paula is the one that knocks them all out of confusion. I don't like having to swing with Ness because you have a pretty good chance of killing them all. But still, that was a really good Death Warp for 123 HP. It was pretty fast. So, just kind of goes to show that the mole, even with 123 HP, if it plays ball, it plays ball.
And Sarah getting no reflex and 87 rocking. Oh, that does it.
I like that emote a lot. Just yeah, Oxfus mentioning they like to toss the bat in case Paula dies quickly, which is a good strat. In Boogey percent specifically, because you don't need the bat in Boogey percent after that point at all. In Glitchless, the bat has more uses after the fact, so there's more of an argument to be made for keeping it.
It's like smacking the frappies, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure that a bash from Ness and a bash from Jeff will guaranteed kill a Foppy.
Sarah's making her way to save Paula. ChefGobes getting about halfway through Peaceful Rest Valley, getting towards the end.
Yeah, exactly. Zombie fights, it's also useful. Like, there's just, in Glitchless, there's more uses for the bat after the fact. So, you don't really drop the bat until either at the end of Mole Cave or, sometime closer to Mole Cave. because at that point, Ness is no longer used for bashing. It's pretty much after Belcher Space, Ness is not going to really be bashing much anymore. Tracy trying to get through their shack fight. The Crow getting hit by the rocket. ChefGobes now getting into Happy Village.
And Tracy getting a nice shack fight. We might be able to see 2 Rockins against Carpainter, which will quickly take him out.
Potentially, yes. Sarah about to enter her death work.
With a lot less HP, it may still be as low.
Yeah, 18 is low enough that you might consider defending. Don't even need to auto fight at this point. But like you said, sometimes the mole and the crit does not knock the mole out of confusion. You hate when to see Paula crit. Feels guaranteed as soon as he confuses himself.
We get another miss, another feeling strange.
Yep. Finally.
And no gut save.
Yeah, thankfully no gut save there.
Very fast.
Tracy still with the 20 psychic points coming into Carpainter. So like you mentioned, we may see that double rock, and 55 HP is literally on we've seen Carpainter hit for exactly 55. I think that's the highest we've seen. I would risk it. I would just bash rockin' here, personally. We'll see what Tracy decides to do. There's always an argument to be made for playing safer. It's a race after all.
No luck on the first set, unfortunately.
You see the rockin' come out on turn 2. It misses,
did not
unfortunately. And we do see the rockin' on the paint attack turn. Can bash here safely because this is guaranteed a lightning turn, and then they can heal on this next turn. Oh, they bashed. This is bad. Oh, they got saved.
Oh. This is still dangerous.
Oh, this is so scary! Oh my god! Oh! I was so crazy, Tracy. You're give me a heart attack there.
Yeah, there was no food. It was just that very small.
They had a cookie. They had a cookie.
It was a skip sandwich.
Oh, it's a skip sandwich after the fact, just helping them escape the HQ, and then they're gonna pick up a replacement skip sandwich right here. Their death warp is immaculate.
This is, and I will say it, Crow warp HP.
I hate. Why? Stop it. Stop it. Get some help.
I am ready to see it.
It's not gonna happen. It shouldn't happen. We might see it, but still, yeah. The problem with Crow Warp, in my opinion, is not Ness's HP. It is Paula, because they have to kill Paula, and it takes several turns of hits. So that's always the annoying part for Crow. Like, if Crows did more damage to Paula, I'd be more on board.
Yeah, I think if we see a lot of crows spawned, I think it may be a good call to go for it. And sometimes it just happens crazily when you accidentally run into them. You can always try the run while it's happening too, but it just delays your walk to the mole.
I mean, you can't really run from crows. They got 77 speed. It will take... You start with like a negative 62% chance to run, or 60% chance. So you don't get a chance to run until like turn 8.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if you're getting into a fight with crows, your option is to kill them.
ChefGobes is not taking him out first round, unfortunately.
We're getting a reflect here, and he is down. ChefGobes with a great HP value for this death warp as well.
Tracy taken out immediately.
Yeah, the mole said, "Get out of here."
Tracy was right. This game wants them dead.
Wants them dead, absolutely. ChefGobes not picking up the skip sandwich. It's not necessary. You see a lot of runners pick it up just for use in 3. If it does save time, it's very, very minuscule. And Glitch just you see it picked up because it is actually used later for Monkey Cave. So Sharpless trying to deal with graveyard spawns right now, being pushed pretty far south. Finally able to get this this little trigger here where the zombie is just gonna be like, whatever, I'm gonna look you all.
ChefGobes not getting any crows spawning in. It's a lovely walk to the shack.
Yeah, always nice when that happens.
The cabin in the woods with the jail and the shack.
Yeah, the main reason why it's nice, apart from not having to dodge any crows, it's just like the more things are on screen, the more lag it causes. And when they spawn in packs of like 7, which is sometimes what to do, it's a lot of lag you have to deal with, so it slows you down.
Absolutely, and Sarah getting a turbo right bus.
Yeah, Sarah has been hitting that fairly consistently. It's always nice to see people optimizing their movement. As Sharpless is about to start winters now.
ChefGobes starting their walk to the mole to get killed and sent back to Tucson, while Sarah is on the way to 3. Sharpless starting winners.
Mole instantly killing Paula here. And then the mole, it gets confused, but even in its confusion is like, I still hate Ness.
Being pretty nice.
Sarah just being dropped off in 3. We're going to see how her graveyard goes. And then she will be approaching Winters herself. Sharpless got to do some annoying stuff with Maxwell here. A really rude character who sucks. I've already gone on the record about this guy. I don't need to really go further.
So what do you think of the story of Maxwell? He doesn't quite know that it's not going to work, but once he pulls it out,
No,
he realizes it might not.
He does know it's not going to work. It's not
But
that he knows. He tells you straight up as soon as you come back. I'm going into it again. All right. So he tells you straight up. Look at Sharpless' screen right now. Look at the text that Maxwell says. Oh, the key didn't work, did it? Oh, that's crazy. That's wild. What? Who could have predicted? You could have. You predicted it the whole time.
Okay, but hear me out. So Maxwell, he only knows that it's not going to work after he pulls it out and hands it to you, right? So it was the action of giving it to Jeff is what made him realize he needs to create this machine.
But you're telling me that he created that machine in the time it took you to leave the room, try the key, and then come back?
Yes.
No way. Not with those dumb green glasses. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Well, it is like, it's just more keys. Maybe he found all of the keys in his
Yeah, but you don't have those dumb green glasses, Slug. There's a difference. Green glasses are fine. His green glasses, not fine.
Or Maxwell's glasses.
Sharpless getting a gruff goat there, but the goat actually walked right, which is really what you want to see, because having a gruff goat in the center there can get really scary if you try and walk left to despawn it, because it's a big sprite, so you have to walk a tiny bit farther to despawn it. And gruff goat is a terrible fight to get into. They can just kill you outright.
And ideally, we'll see a dog there, which can be green swirled sometimes, but more importantly, it gives you an extra bit of HP, so you can survive a worthless protoplasm hit and may even get a bread roll, which makes it even safer.
Yeah, the Winter's dog specifically is a different enemy entry and has a 50% chance to drop a bread roll, as opposed to the Onet dog, which I believe is like a 1 in 32 chance, or 1 in 16 chance of dropping a bread roll. Or something much, much lower. So the Winter's dog fight is something that is often taken, because as you mentioned, just even getting the level up and you get 1 HP, that might be the difference about surviving first proto. And we got our first Tessie of the quad. I would love to see some Tessies in chat from everybody, please.
Get our 5th Tessie of the day, or 3rd, excuse me.
This is the 3rd. What? 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 Why? What did I do? I just want to see Tessie. So many
Finally
kick
get rid of
rocks.
Maxwell.
Yeah. Tracy dealing with Graveyard. And the ghost kind of coming out of nowhere. So the ghost here, very fast. You probably are not going to... You can't run first turn, but ghost has a lot of turns that don't do anything, and they're really weak to freeze. So this is a fight that...
Okay.
They
solidified on
Paula and then killing her. The bash might kill, though. Yep. So Paula's going to have fire for Tracy.
This will make any other spawns to deal with a little bit easier, and another backup for Tent.
Sharpless about to enter Brick Road. We're going to see if they go for an attempted first proto skip. Really not up to you. You can try and go for it, but Monkey needs to play ball, and it's also like pixel... It's like pixel perfect, I'm pretty sure. Or at least like within 2 pixels.
It's very, very close.
You don't want to see the attack outright. Sizing up the situation is great. Unfortunately, Jeff missed the first turn. And now Sharpless is in the danger zone. And there it is. So Protoplasm just outright can kill you. The nice thing, at the very least, it's a very quick death, because it just drops you off right outside. You get to try again really, really quickly.
Yeah, you get some memories of Tessie and make your way back down.
Absolutely.
Hugging the left mountain just slightly to keep a gruff goat from spawning.
Yeah, it's a little trick to prevent it. It's an 100% spawn plate there. So that if you didn't move like that, the gruff goat would spawn every time. Unfortunately, now we have Protoplasm B. And auto fight here is actually a scary situation, because now auto fight doesn't automatically choose the same target. It just randomly chooses between the available targets. So auto fight here is actually a situation where perhaps Sharpless might be better off not being an auto fight and manually choosing who Jeff hits, because now we have the damage split between the two of them. But it seems to be working out for Sharpless regardless, because the Protoplasms decided not to really be that aggressive.
No, that was it.
We have our second Tessie of the quad.
We will be seeing a buff Jeff tonight.
And ChefGobes getting into a fly fight here.
These are also luckily one-shotted by freeze.
Yeah, we saw a bash there. May have just been an overmash. Ness getting absolutely beat up by this no-good fly, but we're going to have fire for ChefGobes as well. Duck skip for Sharpless here.
Eating his egg, going for second proto skip. trying to get Bubble Monkey to stop, so hopefully he doesn't do it twice in a row. And he does, unfortunately.
Instantly stops the moment that Sharpless moved out of the way. So this is a little bit scary about getting duck skip and then getting into the second proto fight, is then dying to the second proto fight, because the duck is going to remain after this. Okay, then it was confused and hit itself, which was actually super clutch.
This is a very... Oh, no. Okay, now here's Protoplasm C.
Run away. The chance is possible, and they did!
Nice.
Very, very low % chance, but Sharpless hits it.
Yeah, at turn 3, you have a 5%. Well, Jeff at this level, I'm not sure. That's for the first one. Maybe slightly higher percentage.
He might have an extra 1 speed. At most 2 speed, so the percent changes by 1 or 2%.
Sarah getting similar luck here, getting lots of calls from help. I feel like RNG has been cursed tonight. Something is going on.
Oh, this Earthbound is on the screen. That's what's going on.
It's a full moon tomorrow night.
Is it really?
It is. Something's happening out there.
Sharpless trying to despawn here in the first room of Pond Cave. Gonna go for this stutter here. I like it.
Well, that duck almost skipped himself. It was really far in the corner and then just ran straight right and straight down.
It'd be like that sometimes. Sharpless getting a nice second room. Very empty.
Favorite part of the cave, you get to see the pond.
Yep, pond.
Least favorite part of the cave, getting to see all the mushrooms here.
Yeah, Sarah getting second proto skip, by the way. Very nicely done.
Tracy getting ran down by some crows.
Not getting into any of the fights though, but the crow they wanted it. Sharpless just has one more spawn to deal with, just at the top of this ladder, and he'll be out of Pond Cave and on their way to Boogey Tent. Meanwhile, Tracy approaching Tessie here. We're gonna have our third Tessie.
Sharpless getting through Pond Cave. Sarah
nice Pond Cave.
Not very far behind. And we get Tessie number 3, getting them quite nicely spread out for our viewing pleasure.
Ooh, a red swirl from a cave boy though, and this is dangerous. Yeah, he just outright said, "Get out of here. You're going back outside, buddy." So Sharpless has to re-go through Pond Cave now.
Wow, insane.
The advantage is they don't have Bubble Monkey. Sharpless not doing the correct movement though, and so they're triggering the 100% spawn. They need to move to the left side. If you walk up and down like this, you will get it every single time.
Here we do get to see the Gruff Goat. Ramming for 4 HP, not too bad. These levels made a big difference here. Gruff Goat drops salt. Let's see if we see it.
We did not, unfortunately. But Sarah making it to Andonna's Lab. So she's going to be the first onto the Skyrunner. As Tracy's now approaching Brick Road. Sharpless has an empty Brick Road here, so it looks like Tracy and Sharpless are a lot closer than they actually are. But Sharpless just needs to re-get through Pond Cave, while Tracy needs to deal with all 3 of these fights and then Pond Cave. But dying after Pond Cave is still a pretty big time loss there.
Those cave boys are faster than they seem.
So in this first iteration of Winters, they are not actually. They have about 5 speed in this first iteration of Winters, and then when you come back later, they have 79 speed. For some reason, they just get mad fast for no reason.
And donuts, and training them up,
Yeah,
feeding them all the donuts they want.
yeah, exactly. They're just on a sugar rush and they get mad fast.
You see, Jeff's not allowed to have any, but cave boys.
He offers Jeff a donut. You just say no.
Even if you say yes, he says, I would too.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You want a donut? That'd be sick, actually. I love donuts. All right, bye. Tracy taking a death to first proto there. Very unfortunate.
The first protoplasm is it's one of the worst fights in Boogie Percent.
There's a lot that's out of your control. If it hits 3 times in a row, you just die. You just nothing you can do about it. The only thing that can be done about it is if Monkey crits, you actually and Jeff hits both times, you actually kill the protoplasm. It's enough damage, but
Getting a call for help immediately.
Yeah, the call for help immediately is brutal, and they both hit. They're both aggressive, and Jeff is missing.
You don't get a positive run chance until turn 3, and really you're going to be waiting till turn 5 to get a 25% chance. If you can get some defense, take half damage, you can live 6, 7 hits instead of 3.
Yeah, it's my preferred. If it instantly calls for help, I just start defending, and then I try and survive for about 5-ish turns. By the 5th turn, I'm trying to run. It's still very low % chance to run, but it's just, you know, for the sake of my run, I'm gonna go for it at that point.
And you can still easily just get destroyed by them anyway.
Absolutely. Even cutting the damage in half if they just both start beating you up. There's that crit from Monkey. Also, there's a Tessie on ChefGobes' screen. I'm sorry. Please get some last second Tessies. ChefGobes deserves some Tessie love as well.
Get the 6th Tessie of the night, 4th of the quad. Tracy getting through the first protoplasm, taking the duck fight. Sharpless did get through a second time.
Sarah taking a save here at 3 Hotel. I do believe she watches the restream, so she just might know that she has a nice lead here. It's comfortable. So just in case, you know, worst case scenario, she wants to be able to reload her save and attempt a Boogie Tent with all resources available.
And so that's by game over screen saying no and then reloading, correct?
Yeah, you say no and then you say yes. And it brings you back to the file select screen. That isn't allowed. That isn't, tent. Jeff decided that tent should not exist anymore. That's a GG for Sarah.
Big GGs. That was a 706. That was like a super high percentile bottle rocket there. I think it only hit 750 max.
The theoretical max is 750. I'm pretty sure 750 is actually impossible based on how RNG works. Because I just don't think there's RNG that lines up to have 155 times in a row like that. But it's the theoretical max. But very, very nice stuff from Sarah. She is going to be moving on to fight Peen Train, I believe, is who you mentioned. Her opponent is going to be. So it's going to be Peen Train versus Sarah. And Tracy Sharpless still going on, although Sharpless now with a nice little lead.
This is our last matches of round 1. There'll only be round 2 matches after this.
But don't get it twisted, because there is another race later tonight. Actually, you know, there's another round 1 race later tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be Attack Slug versus McGurk. And so that will be starting about an hour after this race.
I believe that OBS will magically fix itself.
OBS looking fine for me.
In time for the next race, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
As long as Temple's around, we should have no issues.
So Sharpless now landing in 3. We're going to see how his boogie tent goes. Octo versus Raz is technically a round 2 race. Slug. By the way brackets work. But you are correct. On the 29th, there is a round 2 race. Octo Pascal versus Borazmu.
Yep, that'll be early morning Eastern time, 8:30 Eastern.
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning. Octo is in Japan, so it's one of those situations where we're trying to accommodate as best as possible for the big time difference.
Yeah, it's his evening. I think they're 13 or 14 hours difference, depending on daylight savings. Sharpless going ahead and feeding Jeff a hamburger.
Yeah, Jeff at full HP just gives you more chance to make sure that the big bottle rocket gets off. That zombie dog going in for the kill, but Sharpless too quick. And we're starting this boogie tent fight. Tracy taking a death in Pawn Cave. We got 70 damage on the Rockin'. 593, and that's a GG for Sharpless as well.
GG.
Very nice stuff from Sharpless. Congratulations to Sarah and Sharpless. But also really greatly played by both ChefGobes and Tracy.
Definitely still holding their own. I know this is Tracy's one of their very first Earthbound runs, or they've just started very recently.
They already have like a 430. It's a very good time.
Only one mother, one runner was allowed to go past into round 2, and it will be Sharpless.
Correct. And Sharpless will be facing off against Hunter, the #1 seed in the bracket. So that's a tough draw, but anything can happen in Earthbound.
Tracy is making their way through Pawn Cave again. Tracy getting into some mouse fights, unfortunately. After this, it's a mouse and a slug. Once this is taken care of, they'll be able to make their way to the next set of rooms. Sharpless is trying their hand on the tent glitch, seeing what kind of situation they get, while Sarah continues the glitchless run into 3 tunnel. Getting a nice green swirl on the zombie dog.
Yeah, you're getting a nice little peek here of glitchless on Sarah's screen. This is how the run continues if you choose to go past Boogey Tent.
Like they're practicing.
Yeah, they have save states in 3 Cave because 3 Cave uses a skip sandwich strat to try and green swirl zombies. So I think it's a situation where she's trying to practice that technique. What's the extent of the tent glitch? Can you get graphical sound or gameplay changes? You're not really going to get gameplay changes. You'll get graphical. You'll get some sound ones. You can accidentally pull up the debug menu. The game will often crash. Debug menu from the tent is extremely unstable.
You get warped to the bar and foreside.
Yeah, so what's happening with the tent glitch, for those who are unaware, is that the tent is on the very, very edge of the map. It's on one of the edges of the map. And so when you nestle yourself into that corner and you check, you are checking into just kind of open memory, just kind of free memory space. So it can pull anything from there, including triggers to warp you to locations. We've seen runners get sent to Dalam. We've seen runners get sent to the Foreside Jackie's Cafe and get stuck behind the bar, and then the game crashes. Like there's just, you know, it can do quite a many things. It'll often crash your game, but not always. The most common thing it does is just kind of pull garbage text, which is what you see on Sharpless's screen. Someone got a save menu from it? That's really interesting.
As my grasses, apparently.
Yeah. Tracy exiting Pawn Cave here. So they're going to be approaching the Angelo slab as long as they don't get into any cave boy fights.
Sharpless managing to get out of that text box.
Yeah, it's not an infinite. It can just end. Sometimes it could be an infinite. Like, it's just doing random stuff. Another thing that's interesting about checking the out of bounds area like that is that your player 2 inputs also do contribute in some way, which is specifically how debug percent works, because we do the same glitch, but we do it at the top of Onet because Onet is also an edge of the map. That one is far more stable, and you can purposely pull up the debug menu with some player 2 inputs. You're looking for a very specific prompt, and then, like, while holding inputs on the P2 controller, once you get the prompt, you let go of the inputs on the P2 controller and then do an input on the player 1 controller on the 12th or 14th frame, or the 11th or 13th frame. It's like one of those things, but it can't be the one in between. So it's a 1-frame trick, but you have 2 valid frames you can do it on. They're just not 2 frames in a row.
Earthbound is earthbounding. It's the night before the full moon. the month of the spookies.
Yeah, which Tracy just gonna finish up this Skyrider and this Boogey tent. They still want to finish their run, which I respect. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think for the tense glitch, it should be, when you're checking, it should be delayed rather than popping up immediately.
It can be delayed. Reviving Paula shouldn't matter for this glitch. But, I mean, I could be wrong on that regard. I don't think it does matter, but weirdly it might. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that's unknown about it, so I wouldn't doubt it. Alright, Tracy landing in 3'd. Gonna be making their way to Boogey Tent. We'll see how their fight goes.
Eating a skip sandwich, taking the journey down. Nothing hiding behind the billboard. No dogs below the tent, except for the nice one.
Yeah, that. Ooh. Defend BBR. Defense spray is great to see, and the BBR does 522, which is just one rocking away, but they're just gonna queue up the bottle rocket. You're hoping it hits. It does. And that's a GG for Tracy.
GG. $38,000 goes to Peen Train and others.
There you have it, y'all. That is the quad. Like I said, we have a race in about an hour, so we're going to be going offline in that time. But you know, you got an hour to kill. Get some snacks, get something to drink, get up, walk around, stretch your legs, and if you want to watch more Earthbound action, be back here at 10 p.m. Eastern, because we have Attack Slug versus McGurk, and it should be a great race. Thank you so much for coming in clutch with the restream, Attack Slug, and thank you so much to Shuki here for joining me on comms and also attempting to restream even though OBS didn't play ball.
Yeah, I've never ever seen OBS do that before, but it would happen tonight. So a big shout out to all the organizers for making this wonderful thing happen. I think we're about halfway through the tournament at this point, so really looking forward to the rest of it.
But that's gonna do it from us. Like I said, be back in 1 hour, and we'll see you then, y'all. Bye.
Goodbye.